I just noticed that in your energy plan, about 10% of the reduction in greenhouse gases is through biomass. And I was wondering if you offered any incentives. What kind of incentives are you offering? I was thinking perhaps you might help aid feasibility studies for people to switch to biomass in some way, or I don't know what the plans you have. I'd be interested.
You want to do it?
Well, we've been having this conversation with Cooperative Extension a lot, and with yourself at times. And there are some pilot projects going on now to look at how beneficial it is for people to convert to biomass. We see biomass as potentially replacing fuel oil completely as a heating source in this community. The capacity of our land would do that, and probably more than that. So we do believe in that. We do have some funding where we can help with feasibility studies a little bit, as a partner.
On a commercial basis?
We might be able to do that. We'd be happy to talk more about it. Absolutely.
Thank you.
Sincerely, the last thing that I want to do right now is stop this discussion. We are running out of time, but just a few closing notes is that what's occurring here with this audience is a representative population and a gathering of the interest groups, of the stakeholders, so to speak, that can make a difference on the strategies of the comprehensive plan. We were giving a lot of examples of the strategies that exist and that we're looking for opportunities to refine them. And things were coming out like, well, if the largest employer makes the move on the employer assistance package, then perhaps there can be some of the smaller but still large employers who are doing it. But we can also imagine that among here are representatives of a small manufacturing company and other small businesses. And could that, for example, assistance package be evolved that 5 to 10 employers who are somewhat in a development node or a development focus area could have access to a package option? So maybe the need is for the package to be developed such that the people who actually represent a coalition that shares the interest can actually act upon it. And I think that that's kind of the hope that we were able to create for this event. If you were watching our panel and the assisting planners there, they were taking notes as much as you were. And that's kind of, well, that's exactly what we're hoping to create from this, is that maybe not just the one-stop web portal being created, but some land use coalitions or some energy future coalitions. And you are exactly the people who would comprise those groups and that can advise on the policy changes with the town board representatives, with the city board representatives. So definitely take that to heart, and definitely receive this as an open door to interact with this planning department. Scott wanted me to make a point to point out this directory of information that connects you to the specifics of each of the strategies that are in play, and a lot of the other things that that will tie you into the comprehensive plan.
Okay. Just much as Scott said, we knew that we wouldn't be able to touch on all the things in the detail we wanted to. So many of the resources we referenced and many others connected with strategies. This is a kind of a mock-up of our website to show you where those pieces are. And then, of course, all our content information back. It's specifically resource light to make sure we're not handing too much material out. It's a one-pager. I'll make sure it's at the door for you to pick up on it. Thanks.
Yeah. So please take one of those with you, and make sure you find the opportunity to interact with the planning board and each other. And we at the scene and the hub are going to do what we can to see that some form of these coalitions are defined. And the discussion on evolving programs like the employer assistance and the community housing trust and the funding options that allow for the purchase of development rights continue in a way that maybe that option can be created without having to wait for the biggest person to make the move. And I don't want to take up too much more of your time. There is a brief announcement from Mike about an event coming up in April 9th.
One aspect of resiliency in our community is involving young people. We have a Youth Power Summit, which is around these very issues of sustainability and clean energy at the Holiday Inn, Saturday the 9th of April from 9:30 in the morning till 5. It's gone out in the Human Service Listserv and other listservs. But if you have young people in your life, it's exactly the kind of place that you want them to be. Some of those youth are also going to then go on to Washington, D.C. for the Power Shift gathering, which happens annually. But this is kind of our local power shift to get youth involved, engaged, and build momentum and join this larger movement and not have these disparate conversations without effect. So spread the word.
Thanks, Mike. One final thing, like what I said in terms of we're going to be sharing a follow-up event to the local food system talk. The hope is to create a follow-up event for what we discussed here, and in which we can maybe discuss some direction and what we talked about. A final note on just scene information in general. If you go to the website greenresourcehub.org, there is accessible and visible now buttons to join our mailing list, so you can stay in contact with us on our future events. If you signed your email address on the sign-in sheets, then you'll be getting that information from us. And also, I just want to point out Sarah Wells. Raise your hand. Sarah is our awesome marketing director for the scene. So if you have questions about things that we're up to and where we're headed in terms of building membership and further actions and stuff, please direct them to Sarah. And she is Sarah at greenresourcehub.org. So we can wrap up, and thanks so much for coming out. We really appreciate it.